Hello everybody, Daniel Jude Miller here in my office finishing up some of my last drawings for Monsters in Manhattan Part 2. I showed you some of the work from Monsters in Manhattan Part 2 and we're doing maybe one of the last drawings at the end. I don't want to give away any of the secrets, so don't look behind me. I just wanted to take a second to thank everybody at Stockbridge Valley Elementary. I had an amazing time last week coming out there to talk with all of you and meet all of you. And I want to thank Mrs. Ingalls and all the teachers and all the staff, but most importantly, I want to thank all you guys, the students. You were a great bunch of kids, you had a lot of interesting questions, and it was tons and tons of fun to come out there and see you last week. And I can't wait to come back next week and bring all the books and all the orders and everything back for you like you ordered. I had a great time, and I can't wait to see you again. So my favorite part of Stockbridge Valley Elementary, my favorite part of getting a chance to come out there was something that I don't get a chance to see very often, and that was your auditorium. I hope you all know how lucky you are to have such an incredible auditorium. It must be amazing there to see plays or shows or presentations like mine. Most schools I go to, they don't have that kind of setup. They have a cafeteria that has to double as an auditorium. And it works fine, but it's not nearly as nice as what you guys have out there in Stockbridge. That was a really, really nice room to give a presentation in, and it must be a really nice room to watch a presentation in. So I hope more of the schools I go to in the future have really nice auditoriums like you guys do. Now, my favorite question from Stockbridge Valley Visit. My favorite question doesn't have anything to do with making a book, and it has nothing to do with writing a book. It has something to do with me. It's a question I've never gotten before, and it got the biggest response out of anything I've ever said at any presentation. The question was, after I showed how many hats I have, the question was, what am I a fan of? Which team am I a fan of? Now, I explained that in New York City there are two baseball teams, the Mets and the Yankees. And since I grew up in Queens, it's almost required that you become a Mets fan. And my whole family was Mets fans, and most of my life I was a Mets fan. Because you're not allowed to be fans of both the Mets and the Yankees when you live in New York. So I was a Met fan for a very long time. When I told the students that I was a Met fan, nobody responded. Then, when I told them that after I moved upstate, I couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't be a Mets fan. So I switched and I became a Yankee fan. When I told them that, whoa, the response, that was the biggest response I've ever gotten for doing anything. For showing them my drawings, for reading them my books. Telling you guys that I was a Yankee fan got me the biggest round of applause I've ever gotten. So that was definitely my favorite question. And go Yanks. Hopefully they'll be a little bit better this year than they were last year. So thanks again, Stockbridge Valley. I'm going to be back next week to bring you guys all your books, and hopefully I'll see you again in the future when Monsters in Manhattan 2 comes out, and Halloween Boy and the Christmas Kid, and all my other books. See you then.